everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Yeah, hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
It's fine.
Excellent, excellent. You seem a little hesitant to podcast this morning.
My morning is weird.
Yeah, it's unusual. But we're also 3 days late, so
Yeah,
here
no,
we are.
it's all right. Late is weird, too.
Yeah. The cocktail of the week this week is called How to Kill a Friend. But reading the ingredients, nobody's going to die unless they drink a whole bunch of these, which is true of every cocktail of the week, pretty much.
Huh.
It is.
That would be a good podcast, by the way. Anyway.
Wait.
How to Kill a Friend.
Oh, I feel like there might be some legal liability.
Emotional roller coaster. Immediate emotional roller coaster. It's great. It's a great title.
So the How to Kill a Friend is a shot of mezcal, half a shot of Campari, and then a little bit of sherry, triple sec, a bunch of pineapple juice, and some lime juice and Angostura bitters. So it's like kind of tiki, but not too sweet. It's a little bit of a take on a cocktail called a Jungle Bird, which is rum and Campari and pineapple juice and lime juice.
Does it look red?
Plastic? Yes, it does look red.
That's cool.
Yeah. Both from the Campari and the bitters. It's nice. It's a very pretty cocktail.
See, this is the disappointment of having this in the morning. We can't drink this right now. I mean, we could, but it would be a bad strategy.
You say that, but... so I want to say right now we're recording. It's 9:09 a.m. And when I got up at like 7:30, I walked into the kitchen and noticed on the counter was sitting half a glass of candy cane infused Malört left over from last night.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
tasty.
Just sitting there on the counter. You hadn't finished it last night, which is fine. And then at like 8:30, I looked and the glass was gone. And that means that
that's me cleaning up.
Yeah.
Yay.
So what happened to the Malört in the glass?
It was disposed of safely.
How so?
In accordance with regulations.
Please provide more details.
It hurt my heart to pour it away.
Uh-huh.
So I drank it.
So
duh.
What I'm saying is if you're doing shots at 8:30 in the morning.
No, it's a shot. It's a Malört. It's fine. It's fine.
Sometimes I get up and I notice that there's like leftover, opened booze on the counter, and I dump it out because I'm like, oh man, Ingo's totally going to drink
Mostly I dump it out. It's Christmas. It's Saturday. It's fine. So I take a nap at 10. It's okay.
That's fine. All right. That's the cocktail of the week. Moving cocktails. On. Yeah, that's true. To administrative corner. I
love administrative corner.
Ingo, we have a new fish scandal.
Yeah. This is Christmas in Christmas. Christmas at Christmas time.
And there's video of this fish scandal that I encourage everyone to look up. It will be very easy to find.
What is it?
Florida man steals tarpon from Bass Pro Shops indoor pond. And there's a video that some patron of Bass Pro Shops took of this guy walking
crazy.
With this 50-pound tarpon in a net that he also stole from the Bass Pro Shops. And just walking across the floor, and the fish is like flip-flopping around in there.
Oh, that is convenient. The store sells the equipment. You need to steal the fish from the store that sells the equipment.
So here we go. This article
But he didn't buy it. He stole everything.
So this is from News 7 Miami by Carolina Borges and Jack Royer. This article is from December 22nd, 2023. So this just happened.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Fort Myers Fla.
Mm-hmm.
Lee County Sheriff's Office detectives have launched an investigation into a peculiar incident that unfolded at a Bass Pro Shops in Southwest Florida involving the theft of a live 50-pound tarpon from the store's fish pond.
This is 50 pounds is
it's giant.
That's
yes.
a bank size.
Cell phone video captured the suspect sporting dark pants, a navy blue t-shirt, and a distinctive fishing hat, making off with the prized, legally protected fish.
Legally protected? It was in a shop.
Well, they were supposed to be protecting it, and I guess they didn't.
Bad job.
Chance Floyd said he was working at the Fort Myers store's fishing counter when someone alerted him about the criminal catch. He said he was so shocked the thought they were talking about... Oh, there's a typo in this. He said he was so shocked that they thought they were talking about a fake fish.
Oh, like a display or a Billy Bass or something, yeah.
Someone came up to me holding like a scale of the tarpon and was like, look, somebody just stole a tarpon. It turns out it wasn't really a tarpon. It didn't even cross my mind that someone would stoop that low to steal such a federally protected fish and potentially put it in harm's way.
Potentially? I think it's definitely in harm's way. It's out of the water.
Investigators said the suspect stole a fishing net off the shelf Wednesday evening, took the 50-pound silver king out of the water, and ran... There's a ton of typos in this article. WSVN.com. Your editors need a little bit of work.
It's the Christmas interns. It's the elves.
Investigators said the suspect stole a fishing net off the shelf Wednesday evening, took the 50-pound silver king out of the water, and ran out with the fish still flopping around in the net. Nearby shoppers were shocked by the brazen theft. Quote, I don't know why somebody has the audacity to do something so selfish. For what purpose? Said shopper Christy Downey.
To eat it.
The suspect's getaway, documented in a Snapchat video shared with authorities, revealed his exit from the Gulf Coast Town Center store, leaving investigators to fish for leads on the unknown direction of his escape.
Wow.
LSCO is attempting to locate the retail theft suspect, but this is not just your normal retail theft, said deputies on Facebook. We guess you could say this one will officially catch your eye.
Oh, no. We can't wait to reel him in.
The LCSO, collaborating with the Animal Cruelty Task Force, Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, and Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers, is intensifying efforts to identify those involved in this peculiar aquatic theft.
Those? It was one dude.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, we just call them the FWC, is aware of the incident at the Bass Pro Shop in Fort Myers involving a tarpon. We are currently working with Lee County Sheriff's Office to investigate further. In the wild, FWC, now they just switched to the acronym. FWC prohibits anglers from taking tarpon out of the water if they're larger than 40 inches to keep them from dying. Yeah, that is what happens when you take a fish out of the water. You can't take the fish out of the water because, you guys, it will die if you take it out of the water. I think he was in the wrong because he probably didn't have like a tank full of water or anything, so the fish might have died, said shopper Jocelyn Downey.
Wow, they shouldn't interview just everyone for these stories.
I mean, or at least you don't have to quote everybody that you interview.
No, you don't.
This isn't the only time somebody has made a splash at the Bass Pro Shops. Back in 2020, another man jumped right into a tank. I remember that story.
Naked?
I don't think so.
Too
Who
bad.
knows?
Missed opportunity.
I heard stories about people like jumping in tanks and stuff like that just to try to do stuff for YouTube, Cloud, or whatever have you. Just trying to get famous on social media.
Do you think they meant clout?
I think they probably
and they transcribed it badly. He said clout.
This is Cloud with a capital C. So the people working on this article think that there's a platform called Cloud, which maybe they're thinking of like in the cloud.
Face cloud.
Do you know the origin, by the way, of like saying something's in the cloud? Like the cloud is just sort of like online storage, internet storage.
Yeah, it's leftover server space that Amazon had.
Yeah, but do you know like where the phrase "in the cloud" came from?
No.
So it's kind of lame, but like it is my people that are responsible for this.
My people, your people from Chicago, your people from Harvard,
computer scientists,
your people from computer science. Okay.
So like we have to draw these like diagrams in a lot of our papers, especially when we're talking about like architecture, right? Computer architecture.
Mm-hmm.
And there's sort of standard PowerPoint icons that we use for different things.
Sure.
So like a database is kind of like a cylinder.
Yes.
And so if you've got a bunch of databases, there's a bunch of cylinders.
And the users are like PCs or something on a desk.
Yeah. So if there's stuff on the internet, we would use the little cloud icon because it's like, it's not a particular computer or anything. It's just like, oh, we're going to just put it on the internet. So you'd put a little cloud and it would be like, the server transmit, like if you're talking about how the internet works, it's like your computer sends a request to your like internet service provider. And then that goes into the internet until it comes down to the internet service provider of the other person. So when it's in the internet, we just put a little cloud because like there's its own stuff going there.
Yeah.
So that's why it's called cloud storage, because we use the cloud icon in PowerPoint.
That's not lame. I think that makes sense.
It is a technical term derived from a PowerPoint icon.
Well, a descriptive graphic like an emoji. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't sound like a terrible story.
Okay. Back to our article.
Anyway, there is no server. There is no cloud. Snapchat cloud.
Cloud. If there were, it would start with like a
Instagram.
K.
Cloud. Cloud starts with a K, doesn't it?
Yeah.
See?
In Wednesday's theft, the cell phone video shows someone following the suspect with what appears to be a GoPro camera. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that part.
Oh, so it was maybe for a gag.
I think the depths that people go to for likes on social media is becoming a detriment to society, really, said Christy Downey, which is just a shopper in the store.
63.
To report no insult to our friends who are in their 60s who understand
Nobody says
technology.
detriment except someone older who went to college.
To report details on the incident or the suspect, individuals are encouraged to drop a line
Oh, there
to
we go.
Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers at 1-800-780-TIPS or submit online at www.southwestfloridacrimestoppers.com.
Oh, jeez. If there's accomplices, they'll need a bigger boat.
Oh, my goodness.
Contain them all.
You want to see the video?
Whoa. Maybe.
All right, I just showed you the video. What do you think?
Oh, as a lawyer, I'm intrigued.
Tell me about
If
it.
they'd sought legal advice before, I'm assuming it's they and it's a prank. If they'd sought legal advice, I would have said, don't steal the net. Because if you just take the fish, nobody's going to know what to do about it.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's like, it's a, Florida wild, it's a protected fish. Should it even have been in the store? Are they going to press charges if it gets them in trouble for like having a tarpon in their store? What's the value? Who knows? Are you really going to ticket someone from taking it out of a aquarium? Is that the jurisdiction of the FWC? It's very complicated. I could see everyone just completely tying themselves in knots and the prosecutor going, oh well, don't do it again, kid. But now they stole the net, they're in trouble. The whole thing is now a complete theft. It's a heist, and they're going down, man.
I like it.
They're going down.
All right.
Also, don't film it. If you're committing a crime, you don't film it, you ding-dong.
I think the whole point of committing that crime was that it was
And
filmed.
this is going to be a problem later. And also, his face is not covered. There's no, obviously.
No, at least wear a mask.
They're going to be busted. Yeah, wear a Nixon mask. That's a classic.
Like a mask so you also don't get COVID.
Like a Scream mask.
No, like a N95.
Well, yeah, you're not going to get COVID from a fish.
You get both the advantage of not getting caught for your fish theft and not getting COVID.
Oof, I know, but look, they're already filming themselves committing a crime. They're not also thinking about protecting themselves against COVID.
I mean, that's true.
This is not, as usual, criminals not always, luckily, geniuses.
Yeah.
This is not a criminal mastermind.
All right, well, there you go. There's the latest fish scandal. I will, of course, keep you all updated as I agree with Ingo. Arrests are likely forthcoming quite soon.
Yeah. They seem motivated to reel these guys in, drop a line, whatever they were so busy putting in the puns, they didn't spell check it.
All right, it's time for dog updates.
Yes, it is.
I think our main update from this week is that on Wednesday we took Vink up to Miami. She was supposed to get her third dose of chemo, and they always do blood work before, but we knew that it wasn't going to be great because she was like feeling
She
real
was really
bad.
crappy. Yeah, she was feeling really crappy.
She had started throwing up. Did she throw up Tuesday night maybe? She threw up twice on Wednesday, once in the car. And then
I think it was just in the morning on Tuesday.
yeah, Wednesday morning. So
Wednesday.
she was throwing up. She would not eat her breakfast. She wouldn't eat snacks. She wouldn't eat anything. And you could tell she like didn't even want to get up and move around.
Yeah, when she doesn't want snacks, it's a sign.
Yeah. And so we already, we're like, all right, well, we're already going to be at the oncologist at 1 and they'll take a look at her. And so they did the blood work and the oncologist came out and she's like, and I had said like, she's not doing good. She's throwing up. She won't eat, which is a kind of known side effect of the chemo. And she's like, yeah, her white blood cell count is really low. And, so we're definitely not doing chemo. We got to get those back up. She wasn't super worried because the drug that Vink got last week apparently can cause this. And she's like, so next round when we do it, we'll give her like 20% less of that. So sent her home with some antibiotics because since she didn't have any white blood cells, which fight infection, she was like on the verge of having an infection. They gave her some Serenia for nausea. So we got her blood retested yesterday to make sure it was doing better, and Dr. Faith, who's our regular vet, came out and she's like, so her neutrophils, which are the white blood cells, on Wednesday were 0.2. She's like, there basically were none, like all the white blood cells gone.
Yeah, the oncologist was I could tell a little freaked out. For her, that's a little freaked out. Because she also she said something like, well, I mean, I know what it caused this. I did this. And it just seemed she realized she'd dosed high on Vink.
Yeah, I mean, she gave like the recommended dose, but Vink obviously processed it
quite well.
Aggressively.
Quite well.
So we did not get chemo on Wednesday, which like on one hand was the only option. On the other hand, like the best bet you have for achieving long remission is to not miss any weeks. So it's like not great that we had to do that. But obviously like we couldn't have given her anything. She was in such bad shape.
She's feeling bad.
She got much better though. So she started eating on Thursday. We had to like pour her breakfast out of the bowl onto the floor and then she would eat it. And then as of yesterday, she was pretty much back to normal, bouncing around and everything.
Yep. It's been nice and reassuring to see her become her own old self again.
Yep. And like I said, her white blood cells are rebounding. They're still low, but they're better than they were.
She's making more, which is nice.
Yes. Keep doing that, Vink.
Yeah.
So that's the main dog update. What else have we got? What else happened?
Fetta's still a pain. She just flopped a wet toy on me, which I know she just soaked thoroughly in her water bowl and then got out and flopped it on me.
So I got home Tuesday from the last of my travels, but I've basically, like, this is the longest stretch I've been home. I haven't been home for more than like 48 hours in about a month. And everything has gone to hell here in terms of like dog management.
You mean we're having a good time?
Today, when we were like sitting on the couch after breakfast, Ingo was sitting in his spot and Remy was like climbing on him, trying to lick his face. And Ingo was holding his phone up towards the ceiling, like trying to type. And he's like, Remy, no. And I'm like, Ingo, like you can actually move him. Like he's learning he can do this if you hold your phone at the ceiling and let him continue to crawl on you. So it's not bad. Everyone's fine.
You just think I'm undisciplined.
You are absolutely undisciplined.
Yeah, well.
And it's fine.
Welcome back.
We also need a force of discipline in the house. And Feta especially is like, what the fuck is going on? When I'm like, no.
What does that mean? She's like,
what she knows. She knows. Like the lady's making angry sounds.
What does that word mean?
Where everybody's going to get whipped into shape over the next month.
Everybody but Venk is healthy. That's all I care about. No body parts missing. I've kept all the dogs. Nobody ran away.
Yes, absolutely.
There you go.
It's all good. Yes.
I put my expectations very low.
Yeah, we have different goals. Like
they're not going to be model citizens. We're just keeping it together here.
It's so good that we didn't have kids. Like, aside from the fact that I don't want kids.
And you would leave for 6 months at a time? Yes, exactly. Yes.
Our parenting styles for human children would have been incompatible, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good that we didn't have to do that. That would be sucky.
Mine are better.
Okay. It's time for Taste of the Keys.
Yep.
All right. Let me flip over to my little article here. Man tosses smoke bomb into CVS, faces felony charges with a cocaine twist. That's the headline. Is there cocaine that comes with those charges? Yeah.
This is dumb. This is a dumb act.
Monroe County, FLA. A 35-year-old South Florida man was arrested on Monday after reportedly throwing a, quote, smoke-style firework into a Stock Island CVS. This is like our CVS.
This is our CVS. They have all our dog drugs.
They give Guago Man snacks when we go through the drive-thru.
When we drive through the drive-thru, they go, how many dogs do you have today?
Yes, they do.
And I go, 2. And they go, okay. And then they put 2 little snacks in the little drawer that pushes out to the drive-in.
They also have, they have a 2-lane drive-thru, and one of them has a pneumatic tube.
Yeah, but it hasn't worked for 2 years.
But pneumatic tubes are cool.
They are very cool.
I love
them.
But
they don't work. This one doesn't work.
This one doesn't. The act unfolded around 2:13 p.m. when 35-year-old Denny Noah Betancourt hurled the smoke device through the front entrance doors before escaping on his bicycle. Just very Stock Island.
Squeaky, 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 squeaky. It's not that good. Anyway, that is very Stock Island, yeah.
Despite the swift nature of the crime, law enforcement promptly arrested Betancourt.
His escape was not swift. The crime was swift, and he was 5 feet away, pedaling furiously.
Upon questioning, Betancourt confessed to the CVS smoke bomb prank, classifying it as a simple misdemeanor charge for disturbing the peace. So Betancourt has not learned about Shut the Fuck Up Friday.
No, nobody has. These police blotters are full of, he confessed. He admitted he'd done this, but said it was because he felt bad. Dude, because you felt bad does not get you out of it. He was mad. It doesn't matter. You can't. There's no guilty with an explanation. You don't plead guilty with explanation.
That is a lawyer kind of thing.
Just don't say anything. Although you're a dummy, stop throwing smoke bombs in the CVS. You don't think that would concern people? Concern me.
His legal troubles escalated when approximately a gram of cocaine was discovered in his possession, transforming the offense into a felony arrest.
Perhaps not unrelated to his dumb behavior. Also, if you're carrying cocaine, maybe don't get yourself arrested.
It then at the bottom has like other recommended articles for me. And one says, woman who said she was, quote, too good looking to be arrested is jailed for ...
Being too good looking.
She's fine looking. And then lawsuit, California sheriffs left 75 pizza boxes at pot farm after allegedly illegal raid.
Nice. They had the munchies. That's good.
There you go.
Illegal raid is just a euphemism for a pot party.
So that's Taste of the Keys. Smoke bomb in the CVS.
In our CVS.
Our CVS.
That's what makes this interesting.
Yeah. It'd be interesting either way, but more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the German word of the week?
Well, Germans have a word for everything, is this category.
Uh-huh.
The word for tomorrow...
Morgen.
And then we say what, the day after tomorrow?
Morgen?
No, übermorgen. It's the day for the day after tomorrow.
Like the extremist tomorrow.
It's extremely more tomorrow. But there's also übermorgen.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah. So it's the day after tomorrow.
Is this inspired by yesterday, me going, it's Christmas Eve?
No, I actually saw this on some social media thing where it's like übermorgen.
Übermorgen.
Yeah, it's pretty efficient.
It is good, yeah.
Übermorgen.
How many of those Ubers can you put on there?
Usually 2. I mean, I'm sure it's Germany, so you can just put as many as you want, but then you lose track.
Yeah.
Then you might just say nächste Woche.
Which means next week, you guys.
Yeah.
Übermorgen.
But it does sound like Übermensch and
yeah, it does.
Uber this and Uber that.
When I was in college, I credit to like one of my good boyfriends in my life got me this job working in the computer science computer lab, right? Because like not everybody had their own computers, and you certainly like didn't print in your dorm room.
So when we were in college, like 2018.
Were we dating? We were married in 2018.
I'm just saying.
Oh,
You're young, and when you were in college, people already had computers.
Yes, people
when
had
I was
computers.
in college,
everybody had a computer.
We did not.
But you couldn't print in there. You know, you'd need specific software that was hard to get. Like, and so we had what was
laser
called
printers were $1 a page.
We had you could print for free in our lab. So we had the Mac lab, and there were rows and rows of computers that were
Apple
all
Macs.
Yep. And they were connected to like the one printer. And then we were called tutors, but we were just basically like the tech support who manned the lab. So we'd sit up front, and if people were like, I can't get my disk out, or like I can't get the thing to print.
That's kind of like geniuses.
Yeah, it is just like that. So we were called Mac Lab tutors. And you know, at the end of the day, like if you closed, we would run this program called RevArtist, which I don't know if it still exists, but it would wipe the hard drives and then reinstall like a fresh version. You'd have to start that on all the computers because it would run overnight.
That's nice.
Yeah, so if people put weird stuff on there, we get rid of it.
But also their personal, private stuff would be erased, which is good. Like no one else could take. That's fine.
Yeah. So I must have started that job my second year of college. And so by the time I was a fourth year, I was like the most senior. So I got whatever promoted. I don't even know if I got more money, but I got to kind of be in charge of more stuff.
Like
Like
you got to boss people around.
Not even really that. Like I got to maintain the image that would get reinstalled back on the computers.
Oh.
I would do like some more advanced tech support stuff than the other people.
Oh, well,
And-
your prank potential just went up then.
Oh,
Yes.
the stuff I did. Yes. So side note to this side note, at the time, it was when Berkeley had launched this thing called SETI at Home. SETI's the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And so SETI at Home was a program that could run as a screensaver. You could also just run it. And it would analyze like radio signals from outer space to look for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence. And it was very cool at the time that you'd get this little chunk, your computer would analyze it and send it back up and send it back out to Berkeley. And so you had thousands of people doing these little chunks all in parallel. And they had, when that launched, a leaderboard for like, you could have a team and who was processing the most. And I was like the leader for a while because I made the screensaver for all the Macs run SETI at Home with my account.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you had access to like 100 computers.
Yes, exactly. So that was pretty great. But anyway, when I got to be like the in-charge tutor,
Yep.
the name for that position was the Uber tutor.
That's before the car service ruined the word for everything.
Yep.
It's like Uber, but for tutors.
But also like Ubermenches were definitely a thing in the 90s.
At Chicago, yeah. You guys had a bunch of Nietzsche people, I'm sure.
Uber tutor.
Ugh.
Okay. Uber Morgan.
Yep.
I'm learning to do a Boston accent, and my mouth, I can normally say Uber just fine, but my mouth is going.
Uber Morgan. Uber.
So
Lobster.
they give you these like sentences to practice. This is mostly for like actors, and I just want to learn it because it's funny. And so the sentence is, I showed up 40 minutes late to the party, and your sister dropped me like a sack of lobsters, which I still don't have quite right.
Lobsters.
Lobster.
Yeah.
Lobster is New York. Lobster.
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 It's still star, right?
Yeah, it's called non-rhotic.
Jen is she's analyzing like the mouth position and whether you drop the H's and R's, and I mean there's a whole science to speech.
You also got to add in R's in a Boston accent between a word that ends with a vowel and starts with a vowel.
This is like a different language. These rules are like learning, Farsi or something. It's crazy.
A sack of lobster. Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
It's time for Ingo Corner, where you say what you want and I don't interrupt you.
Happy holidays, everyone. This is our probably last one before Christmas, unless I drink some more Malört with candy canes.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope everyone is having a good season. It's almost over. In Germany, it would be 4 Advents already. Fifth one is Christmas Eve.
How has traffic been at the P.O. box?
Crazy. I have gotten, the other day I went to the P.O. box, there were 8 packages and 40 cards.
40 cards.
40 cards.
40 cards.
She's doing this with everything, everyone. There are so many cards. It's wonderful. It is joyous. I love it. And the dogs are feeling the radiated love and also eating all the gifts that are being sent, only some of which are designed to be eaten by them. But, Feta likes the boxes.
Yes, she sure does.
She likes them from wrapping paper, boxes, and, of course, everything that's in there, yes.
Yep.
Everything is her toy.
That is true.
That's because she's been living with me for weeks.
I was going to say.
Introduced her to the wonder of everything goes.
Feta, picks up stuff that she shouldn't eat, and Ingo's like, oh, look, Feta's, eating that box. And I'm like, we need to stop her from eating the box. Then I take the box away.
I was brought up short a little bit the other day when I found an extension cord just completely chopped into little pieces. They were 6 2-inch bits.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't plugged in, luckily, but who cares? Would she have noticed? No. She went behind the TV and chomped this 6-foot extension cord into tiny bits.
Yeah. She also ate the insert of one of my shoes.
Only
that I
only
wear
a little
all the
bit
time.
of it.
I know, but
I don't know how she got that insert
you're
out.
just like, oh, look, she's chewing a shoe. She probably didn't do that.
I didn't see her doing any
All right.
of this.
Have you seen her chew other shoes in the past?
Yes.
Do you immediately take them away?
No.
That's why she ate my shoe then.
Oh, it's not all my fault. She's just a bad dog.
No, it's 90% her fault.
Okay, I'll go with 10%.
Okay.
I'm 10% responsible for things that are my fault. Yeah, that's fine. I'll accept 10%.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Happy holidays. And until next time.
Thanks for being nice to the dogs.
Slava Ukraini, and don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
Yeah, and keep being nice to each other.
Bye.
Bye.